What is up, everyone? Jake back in the booth with Lincoln at some point. He's grabbing deck lists. And we are here with round number 6 of our 42 player modern 1K modern RCQ. We got a heater. We got Mono Red Monument versus Merfolk. Dakotah was on camera last round. Unfortunately, they had the loss, but that's okay. We're going to get back on for this one. And we're going to see how cool this is going to be because Merfolk is a sick deck to watch. Yeah, I know the sound effect is loud. If you are watching on Twitch, please like and subscribe to the channel. Give us some of those Bezos bucks. And then if you are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Comment what your favorite modern deck is in the description, on the comments. I don't know, but Lincoln is here. Give us a shout out.
Good afternoon, folks. Happy to be here.
You can move this wherever you want. It's your first time in the booth.
Yeah.
But Lincoln here is a member of Team Impact Gaming Center. He's on our amazing team. So we're going to be cycling in and out, every so often. Some different people won't always just be your favorite old Alex. So, but it's always fun to have more people in the booth. That's always a great time. But we have Deryck on Mono Red Monument and Dakotah on Merfolk. What do you think of this matchup? This is a pretty cool one. There's been a lot of spice out there in this field today.
I was really surprised to see some of the deck lists today. Not nearly as much uniformity as I'm used to.
Not at
That
all.
was very, very nice to see. And yeah, Deryck and Dakotah, I don't know if either of them are top 8 bound off of this game. So I don't know what the stakes of this particular game is, but couldn't help but be more excited.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a dream breaker, if this is or a dream crusher or what, but
Right,
there
right.
is, you know, who knows? The problem is you never know until the end with these top 8 matchups because, people could be, we don't know what people are playing for, but
For sure.
it is. Let's see, I'm here to believe in the fish again. Think playing no Aether Vials hurt her. I don't know.
So
There's an Aether Vial right there. So,
now this Harbinger is gigantic. That saga should be blowing up. Yeah, that is a
yes,
gigantic Harbinger.
that's doing a lot of work. Making Urza Sagas into just boring old islands is a very strong
No,
play.
it blows them up.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's huge.
We got a oval chase back in the hand and a draw for Deryck. Were we able to get deck lists or was Judge checking
Yep,
them
I
over?
do in fact have deck lists on them. So let's take a peek
Excellent.
and see what Deryck's outs might be here. Now, unfortunately, we aren't able to get the paper deck list since this is an open deck list tournament, which means the players are going to be able to review each other's deck lists in between and before the games, but
Mm.
not during. So it's a little bit of a change from what I know a lot of us are used to. But don't worry, I got pictures on my phone so we can review these deck lists from the
Cool.
booth.
Let me sure I spelled this is Dakotah's and then nope. That's what I'm sorry.
You are all good.
Deryck DER. I was so scared about spelling Deryck's name wrong because that is a way to spell Deryck that I'm not 100% used to.
Absolutely.
But we'll take a look at these lists in between rounds. This is a fast game. Dakotah is on the
Yes.
full on. Oh my gosh,
Dakotah,
the game's
yeah.
already over.
And honestly, I'm not shocked to see that. The Harbinger showing up and eating the Urza Saga is that's a back-breaking play for this matchup.
Yeah, I can move it. I think
There we
it's been really goofy today with Way when he was in the booth with me. It just kept focusing in on him. I
go.
think if you move too much, the camera's like, it's a thing. I'm
So
gonna
let me keep fixing my hair then until it forgets about you.
no, but so we saw Dakotah's deck list last time. Merfolk is one of those fair decks that specific plan is to beat up on the non-fair decks. Deryck, Mono Red Monument, I mean, not, I wouldn't say like a popular deck, but I think it's the Monument to Endurance is a card that has so much design space around it
Mhm.
that I don't think I wouldn't say anyone knows 100% how to fully build that card yet.
I would agree. I would agree. I think there's going to be a lot of design still to come.
And I mean, there's innovation. I mean,
Mhm.
there is no card in Magic that does what Monument does. It Are you not getting any sound out of it?
No, I'm looking to turn down the sound.
Oh, I can
Yeah, if you
do.
can.
I'll turn myself down. That probably makes it better for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
the audio systems you hear are weird until you're used to them, and I'm not even used to them. And I've done this a bunch with Alex. Um, but let's see, Deryck. What is Deryck? We talked about Dakotah sideboard. What does Deryck have in his sideboard?
Deryck's sideboard is going to be 2 copies of Withering Torment, 2 copies of Ashiok Dreamrender, 2 copies of Pyroclasm, 2 copies of Magus of the Moon, 2 copies of Torpor Orb, 1 copy of Grafdigger's Cage, and 4 copies of Consigned to Memory. And I hate to say it, reading over that sideboard, I'm really concerned about what Deryck's options are going to be here. And I think that's one of the strengths of playing a deck like Merfolk that isn't necessarily super meta, is that oftentimes you can catch people without much in their deck to answer you. And yeah, looking at the sideboard, maybe Pyroclasm, maybe.
Listing them off, all I can think is Pyroclasm because Merfolk's not a deck. Merfolk don't have ETBs usually, other than Tashana's Tidebinder. There's really not like a whole lot of creature interaction that not creature ETBs that Dakotah is going to have.
Right.
It's going to really hit Deryck. Like Harbinger of the Seas isn't an ETB. It's just yep. These lands are islands.
Yeah, static effect. So yeah, I think I'm curious to see what Deryck put in. I hope we're going to get to see a few of his sideboard choices. Would you Scryfall for me, Withering Torment, by the way? I just want to make sure I'm
Yeah.
familiar with that
I think
card.
that's the black destroys creatures or enchantments. There we go.
Yeah, destroy target creature or enchantment. So Withering Torment could definitely come in just as a removal spell into the Merfolk deck. You
Yeah.
always do that.
It's so he called this deck mono red Merfolk. Is he just hoping to cast these cards off of treasures from Monument?
Mono red Monument, yeah.
Or
yeah.
sorry, mono red, not Merfolk. So many M's in this.
Yeah.
How's he? Is it just Monument he's hoping to cast these cards off of? Because he said it was called a mono red Monument, but I didn't. But he's got a lot of definitely not red cards in his sideboard.
Yeah.
The especially those Consigned to Memories. That is a blue card.
Well, I'm seeing all the fetch lands here, and we saw the Steam Vents last game. Right? That was one of his lands,
Yeah.
the Steam Vents. So he's got some variance in the colors of his lands.
As long as these lands tap for red.
Yeah,
That is the important part.
That's what you need.
To do life totals. Since there's no creatures that turns non-basics into forests, is that the reason people mostly discard elves from tribal plays, unlike Merfolk and humans? I don't think that's the case. I think the thing with elves is more so elves have to stick on the battlefield to get value, and humans are pretty ETB oriented, and Merfolk disrupt the opponent's mana very well. Elves don't do that. Elves' goal is to ramp out big dumb dudes.
I agree with the concept. Excuse me there.
Oh, watch out for the liquid death.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm trying to die in the booth. Apparently.
Well, you're drinking liquid death. I mean, that's what's good.
Yeah, that's where it'll get you. I thought it was a marketing thing, but no, they meant that. But what I was saying there is that I agree with the concept of the comment there, that most of the reason that Merfolk and humans have a tendency to, that Merfolk tends to stay relevant as a tribal deck is that the tools that it has. But I think that it would take more than just a green Harbinger to bring elves back. It would certainly help. But I think there's just a few too many other kinds of tools, like the number of lords you have that also give Island Walk. Yes. You'd need to replicate that with Forest Walk to go through the boards like Boros Energy that would be really complicated to handle and create a lot of difficult combat tricks.
Elves don't really have that great of a game plan. Like, Elves' best game plan is to play a Crater Hoof, which is not an elf.
Right.
So, and humans have humans that give humans buffs. Elves don't really do that. Elves' buffs is we make more mana, but if you don't have a way to pay off that mana, you're also not really an aggro deck. I'd say Elves is more of a creature combo deck rather than an aggro deck. But here's a Spreading Seas, going to take out the Urza Saga, I assume.
And maybe. He may also just be going for the mountain, though, because Tide Shaper has already turned the
you're right.
Island. Yeah, he's going to cut him off red completely here.
That's huge.
Yeah, this is... I mean, Dakotah, game 1 and 2, he's doing what Merfolk wants to do. He's targeting his land base. He's not letting Deryck do what he wants. And he's putting beaters on the table.
Yep.
And I'm seeing Dakotah flip through his cards. There's a Harbinger in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if that Harbinger comes down, Deryck's Urza Saga has no hope. And that Urza Saga is kind of the only thing Deryck has right now with a chance of maybe grinding him out of this game. The problem is we don't see number one. We don't see the monument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't see the namesake card of the deck. And usually when you have a game of Magic and your deck is built around one specific thing.
Right. You kind of need that thing to do the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. To put it in eloquently.
It's Merfolk. Who cares what Merfolk you see as long as you see Merfolk.
Yeah.
Monument, you gotta see that monument. So I think that's a flare of denial.
You can see Deryck thinking really hard about what's going on the board. He's considering what his outs are. Oh my goodness.
There's a Harbinger.
Yeah. Fetch up the basic. Yep.
Yeah, you got to be getting that. Probably a mountain, unless you're floating a mana. But
I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I'm gonna guess he doesn't have any basics in other colors.
No.
For his sideboard cards, which is insane because even the Withering Torment's not going to be castable here.
No.
I lied. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Mox Opal. It is castable.
Oh, yeah, there's a Mox. I didn't even see the Mox. There goes the Urza Saga. So we have Island, Mountain.
Yeah. I think at this point in time, Deryck really needs to be getting the Shadow Spear onto the construct.
Yep.
And with all of these food tokens from this cookbook plus Oval Chase, I realized I was making it sound very bleak for Deryck, but he's got a big beater coming in, and the lifelink on Shadow Spear could be really important.
So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a set. It could be a theoretical 7/7.
Mm-hmm. Put the Shadow Spear on it, make it 8.
Well, the 7 is including the Shadow Spear.
Including. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see what's going on. Let's see. It's an Inti. An Inti can give a trample. I mean, started getting trample from the Shadow Spear, but at 8 lifelink trample. That's when you're an aggro player and you're like, what are you gonna hit me with? So
Dakotah has a really great card in his hand right now. I'm seeing a Sink into Stupor, and that counts as removal into these constructs.
Oh, that is gonna make that construct very sad.
Yeah,
very not here anymore.
To be totally fair, Deryck connecting there was still huge. That really bought him some time. It gets him out of not quite lethal range, but at this point, if Dakotah slams a Lord, that gets really sketchy for Deryck. That's a lot of unblockable damage every turn.
There's another Mox. Unblockable damage, but Deryck is just begging for every turn he gets right now.
Agreed. Yeah.
So, or maybe draw out of this lock that Dakotah has with the Merfolk.
Now that's the Lord that Dakotah just drew. That's the Master of Pearl. So this is becoming a reality here.
Yep.
And he's just gonna save the Sink. Yeah, he's gonna save the Sink and use it on Deryck's combat probably.
Untap. What are we gonna get here?
Big draw step.
Huge. This might be like the game deciding
Agreed.
one of this or the next one. Now Dakotah has this Mind Spring Merfolk, and last time we saw them on camera, they didn't do anything with it. What is your opinion on that card?
Yeah, Mind Spring is. I think it's actually really good, and sometimes it can be situational, but. Actually, today against Dakotah, I lost from the Mind Spring Merfolk, and it can be a really nice way to draw a bunch of cards when you've really gassed out.
Yeah.
And it feels very bad to Fatal Push a Mind Spring Merfolk or to use a removal spell of any kind on it when they've got these Lords you need to be dealing with and the Harbingers you need to be dealing with and all that.
Yep.
So it really... I personally think it's a really great one-drop to be running right now.
Here's that Sinking Stupor you're talking about.
And
to get rid of that
see Dakotah's gone ahead and moved it to the grave. I'm not sure if I'm surely he targeted the construct, right? And this is happening in response.
I most definitely think it is. Unless he's targeted the Shadow Spear, which would feel like a mistake. Or maybe a miss. I'm not sure. Nope.
Yeah,
there goes.
We did the thing. Yeah. I always trusted Dakotah,
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Yes. Dakotah plays very tight.
Drew, there's another Mind Spring.
And yeah, you can see Deryck is really feeling the weight of this game.
Is Mind Spring Merfolk based off? There's a card. I didn't even see this. Mind Spring.
Yeah, yeah, it is literally the card Mind Spring, where it has an activated ability of Mind Spring, except they decided to add and put +1/+1 counters on Merfolks, so
It's insane.
really
what a cool
broke
card.
away.
There
Yeah.
comes the Mutavault.
Yeah.
That is +3 from last time, so 11.
Yep, he's got 11 damage coming in. Yeah, Deryck's gonna have to take it. So another big draw step for Deryck here, but I don't know if eat some foods, try and stay healthy, but he's still in lethal range. I just don't know what Deryck could draw to get him out of this. Looking at his deck list,
Looting.
I mean,
Let's see what we got.
that's one way to try and find it, but I just don't know that there is a draw that's gonna really save him here.
Discards.
Credit to Deryck though, he is not giving up early. He's really putting the right amount of thought into this to make sure that if there's a line, he sees it.
Cookbook is a wild card.
Yeah, the cookbook plus Daredevil is pretty crazy.
I think maybe an Asmo would have been the best thing you could get here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think an Asmo would be a great card here.
Because it's the only thing that's going to destroy or start picking off some of these merfolk.
Yeah.
And if you destroy the Lord, then Dakotah doesn't have a good. Then Dakotah can't freely attack into Deryck with
Yes.
having Island Walk.
Now, real quick, is Dakotah still holding that Flare of Denial, or was that not a card we saw? We commented that a little earlier, and I'm wondering if he still has it.
He missed his NT trigger from looting. So that is okay. We are not here to be judges. The only way we can step in is if we feel like one player is actively cheating. So players are allowed to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We do not step in.
At FNMs, we're totally willing to jump in and help out, but with this being competitive REL, we don't want to intervene unless we truly feel it is necessary. Yeah, Deryck really just reviewing everything he can, seeing if he's got any options.
He has not made this whole remembering which islands are not. Oh wait, no, all the mountains are islands, anyways, right? Because there's double spreading seas, and then the tide shaper. So I don't think he has a true red mountain on the battlefield.
I don't think so. In all fairness, he's making great usage of the islands anyway.
Yeah,
finding lots of value off of them.
There's the Asmo.
Okay, this could.
And there's
be
the
huge.
flare.
This could be huge, and the flare. Yep, there it is.
There's the
there
fist
it is.
bump.
Absolutely. So yeah, you were right. Asmo was the card to get him out of it, but Dakotah also had the flare, so there was we were aware that there was no true out there, but really well played from both players.
Yeah.
I honestly have to say, Deryck played really, really tight. He saw what he needed to. He played the outs he had, and it was really close. But yeah, Dakotah takes it away.
Takes it away. I do not know what that means for top 8 for Dakotah, but our next round will be the semifinals of top 8. I might grab Dakotah so you can do a quick fish deck tap. Deck tech. I mean, who doesn't like talking about fish? But don't go. Let's see how much. You know what? We can actually take a peek and see.
30 minutes.
Oh, I
on
got a
the
long
round.
time.
So yeah, let's fill up this time. Let's get Dakotah in here.
I'm gonna grab Dakotah. We'll do a quick Merfolk deck tech. In the meantime, don't go anywhere. I'll be back here in maybe 2 or 3 minutes.